Hey y'all, it's Kay,
Hey, this Trey.
and we are back again for another
Okay.
reaction of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 8, Episode 5, Snatch Game of Love. Was so looking forward to this episode. I never ever really looked forward to Snatch Game, but this season, with these past few episodes, I've been dying for like some laughter. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
this was a pretty good episode. A lot went on, a lot of drama that we are definitely going to dig into. Overall, definitely the best episode so far this season. I hate some of the things that happened and some of the things that led up to what happened, but overall, this was some great TV. What did you think?
I agree. I mean, some parts were a little disappointing, in my opinion, but
Yeah,
it was good TV. The Snatch game was good.
yeah, it was good. All right, let's go ahead and hop into this and see what's going on, because we got a few things to talk about. All right, of course, we're starting off the episode with the mirror message. Darian, basically, Darian was here twice. See you soon? Question mark. So the girls started discussing, like, what does she mean, see us soon? Is there something going on that we don't know about? I thought that was funny. Do you really think that's just Darian just messing with him, playing around? Obviously.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's something. That's something I would do. Like I would be messing with everybody at every point. They would be so tired of me, including the producers. You know how I'll be pranking
Yeah.
everybody. Oh, dang! It look like the bees are coming right at La Reeves. You know what? Don't it? Like right
No bees.
there. La La.
She got the A and the B's, y'all.
Oh, and then we have the girls sitting down, just basically talking about the episode. They pull out the lipsticks. Obviously, this time it was clear as day. Everybody voted for Darian except James had one vote, who was obviously from Darian. Like them
Mhm.
two was at each other. I believe this was like the third or fourth time James voted for Darian. So
Mhm.
I don't. And the funny thing is, when Darian was eliminated, he said one of my good friends just left, but now I finally have my closet space. You know, just going back to I think
Yeah.
the first time she was in the bottom. I thought that was funny. I was like, friend. I was like, the way you was going for her, I wouldn't have even thought friend. And then we have Jimbo. He played a little trick on Alexis at first while he was pulling out the lipstick. He like, I'm sorry, Alexis, but blah, blah, blah. You should just saw the look on Alexis' face. But of
Mhm.
course, she was messing with it. Ended up pulling out Darius' lipstick. And then I just want to point out that Jimbo flirted so much with Lala Reed this episode. Did you notice that too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it was
They
crazy.
fucking.
And then Alexa was like, "No, we can't have that. Come on back to me, Lala." But
Don't nobody want Alexis dusty ass.
I know, I know. They say she is a whore. She, they say all the drag race girls. Like, I mean, look, hey, I don't look. You do you. Have fun. But now we have RuPaul entering the workroom. Looking simple today, I'll say, but with a nice little novelty blazer on. I like it. Nice, simple
It's a
look.
cute look.
Yeah. Rue basically tells the girls that they're going to do the snatch game of love this week. Um, with two celebrity guests, of course. So we dig in. He does a quick little walkthrough with the first one. We have it with Kahana Montrese. She just bought a thing of cheese balls. Immediately, did you get what she was going for when you saw that?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
it didn't click for me right away either. But Rue brought up the conflict. Let's say with Alyssa. She did it for Halloween. Oh yeah. Okay, then she also talked about Kahana basically said how she did Kahana Montrese for Halloween, and like I guess it was at like a drag show or something, and then
Yeah.
everyone liked it. She felt like it was something comfortable that she could do. So
Hmm.
hopefully we see, which we already know the result, that she actually applies that. But we'll get more into that later. Next,
We will
we have
see.
Jimbo. I know, right? Next, we have Jimbo up. Obviously, right away, I immediately knew it was Shirley Temple. And basically, they talk about how he won Snatch Game on Canada and kind of joked around with Jimbo, talking about asking him, like, well, you didn't make it to the Snatch Game on UK versus Real. Obviously, he knew that. But
Mhm.
so this would be Jimbo's second Snatch Game. Then we have Heidi talking to Rue a little bit. I kind of like that sweater she has on. I didn't realize it at first, but she's going to be
No, it's cute.
Blackbeard, which I'm going to have to do some more research on Blackbeard, but apparently it was a famous pirate where there
Yeah.
was a lot of speculation that he was gay. I've heard of
Yeah.
it before, but I don't know details. You know what I mean? But I've heard
Yeah.
of Blackbeard before, but I think this is probably my first time hearing about the gay thing, but I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But anyway, Ru also kind of starting the storyline for this episode when he asked Heidi, "How do you feel about not winning? You haven't won any episodes." Obviously, I feel like this is producer driven and kind of start, the little bit of drama in Heidi's mindset for this episode, basically moving forward. So going right into the snatch game, we start out with Group One, who is again Blackbeard. Heidi's playing Blackbeard. Jessica's playing Elise Chacon. Coco Montrese. I said Kahana. Coco Montrese. And James Mansfield is playing Jennifer Coolidge, which was a brilliant idea. With the Snatchler being Matt Rogers. Matt Rogers is an actor. He also has a podcast with the other celebrity guests, Bowen Yang. And then they're like actors and stuff like that. So, starting off with Group One, well, let's start off with the struggles. Who struggled and why?
Definitely Kahana struggled.
Yeah.
And then definitely Jessica. Wow. I think we saw James do well, and I think we did. I think Heidi did well. I don't think she did bad. I definitely think she could have did better given her Leslie Jones, but I thought she did good. It was funny to me when that leg fell off. Child, about that.
I
Um,
know. I was wondering. I was like, was that intentional or not? And then she stood up with. She just let it drop and then stood up her other leg. She was like, I guess that's what's going on. So I guess it's going.
yeah, she said the jig is up. No, I think it was planned because she had stuff on the ground and stuff like that. She wouldn't be able to get that she
Yeah, that's true.
if she still had the peg leg on. So excuse me, I think it was intentional.
Yeah. And then we have Jessica. She turned around, started shaking. To me, she was just kind of doing a little bit of the same thing. It was one note. The
The whole
first
time.
time when she was introduced, she said something that made Rue giggle. Really didn't make me giggle, but I think that was the last time we got a giggle or anything out of Rue.
Mm-hmm.
To your point with Kahana Montrese, she definitely struggled. You can tell she was completely in her head. She was not in the moment and having fun with it. She was just too focused on, I guess, the one-liners that she was doing. And you can tell, which, we'll go into a little bit later, how her and Heidi kind of had their little bit back and forth, and she wasn't catching it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she wasn't in the moment where she could kind of volley with the other girls back and forth. James definitely saved the group for me. James did a great job. I think he had some funny things to say. He volleyed well with the other girls. Um,
It was good.
yeah, it was good. And then this is where it kind of started going left for Kahana Montrese because of what Heidi was doing to her. Do we want to talk about this now? Do we want to talk about it when they're in the workroom? We could talk about
No,
it.
but we can talk about it now because
Yeah.
then it'll give us the opportunity to
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of expound on the work.
Exactly. So, first time Heidi did play, would try to volley off of Kahana. It worked in Kahana's favor because the joke wasn't funny. That she was like, and I'm not joking, bitch. And she got a laugh, out of RuPaul.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then immediately after that, you did hear Heidi say, there you go, girl. But it kept continuing a little bit. And I think this joke is where it pretty much cut the cake for Kahana. Obviously, based off the edit, it's the same thing that we saw. But Heidi basically said, here's the map, pass this to her, tell her to go find a better joke. Kahana Montrese was not having it, child. She expressed how she felt about it, and then she threw it back. And I will be honest that when I watched this at first, I literally thought Heidi was being mean a little bit. I was like, ooh. I was like, dang, she don't have to go in like that. But I had to watch again to get another perspective. But I will agree, the first time that I watched this episode, I definitely felt like Heidi was in the wrong, which I still felt she kind of was. But we'll, we I want to hear your perspective first. How did you feel about the situation?
Well, I felt like Heidi was playing the game. I didn't think that Heidi was doing anything wrong because, to the point that you made, the first time it landed, it worked in Kahana's favor and it helped her.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, the edit felt a little bit uncomfortable because, it definitely was like, it definitely was crashing and burning for Kahana after that.
Yeah.
But basically, in this edit, in this moment here, Kahana basically asked her to stop.
See,
And she did stop. She didn't do it again later. The map joke was the last thing.
was
But
it? Yeah, it was. It was.
it was the last thing. So Heidi did listen. So I don't think that Heidi had any malicious intent going into it. I don't think that it was, Heidi is witty, she's funny, she lives in the moment, and I think that she just took advantage of that moment and playing the snatch game, and that's exactly what she's supposed to do. I don't think that it was crass. I don't think the reason that it was uncomfortable was because Kahana couldn't volley back to her. But
Uh,
again, to the point that you made earlier, and the point that I've already said, that it did work out in Kahana's favor the first time. So Heidi was trying to recreate that moment, and I think that you know I understand why Kahana got a little bit like upset, but she really had nothing to be upset about but herself because she's had forever and a day to we've been doing Snatch Game for how long now?
I
Like
mean,
RuPaul's been doing Snatch
oh,
Game for how many years?
exactly.
So that this is going to be a part of it, and if you do your research and you're comfortable in your character,
Yeah.
then it shouldn't be no issues. I don't think Heidi did anything wrong because I think James said this in the confessional. There's no really reason to be upset with her because she played the game how she's supposed to play it. Period.
Yeah, and I agree. The only thing I will say from Kahana's perspective that I would get is the way she did it the second time. Like the second time, I was like, "Oh no, like girl, where's the joke?" Like find a joke kind of thing. To
Mhm.
me, if you were volleying off somebody, then you should do something pertaining to like their character or something that she could pick off of that's not so negative. I would say. I think it could have been a little bit more lighthearted. Is what I'm saying because it's like, how do you expect somebody to volley off of that when that they're not doing good? Hence, why you're trying to help, but it's like what make you think like, oh, I think it's a little bit of let me be a little bit funny while trying to help her. Maybe that was the only way she could have got that across, but she also was looking, trying to make roulette.
Yeah, but we also didn't see the full thing, and Kahana was playing a drag queen. Like she was playing a drag queen in the workroom, no less.
Yeah.
So, and a drag queen that's known for being in drama, starting drama, instigating drama. So, there's a million and one things Kahana could have did in that moment when she passed off the map. Like, yeah, maybe Heidi. I see like the way that it looked in maybe in that moment to some people, but like
Mhm.
if first of all we didn't see the full Snatch Game of Love, we only saw what they edited,
Exactly.
and but what we did see with Kahana was is she was playing Coco Montrese angry. She was playing Coco Montrese as kind of like the villainous character that she is.
Yeah.
And in the workroom getting ready. Like this is that moment. And so, even I can't remember some of the comebacks that Kahana said, like or some answers to the question that she said, but she always had like that stank attitude. So this would have been an opportunity for her to kind of like if she would have went off on Heidi, I think that would have been funny because it would have
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah. I actually it could have honestly.
So it really could that moment. Like I understand like where people are coming from, but I think that if you think about the situation as a whole, you think about the character that Hana's playing. That really lends itself for her to
Yeah.
really
It
be able to react to Heidi because
does.
Heidi was. I mean, yeah, that was shady. Yes, find the joke. Here's the map. Find the joke. But
Yeah.
how like what could you have done with that? A lot.
Yeah.
So she's mad because she didn't volley back.
Exactly. No, that's,
Period. And that's literally the character she was playing was somebody that's like known for getting into arguments.
yeah, exactly. Having fast clapbacks and all that stuff.
Hmm.
She did not.
Don't play a character that you don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
How about that?
Oh. Look. Well, you told her shit. Well, no, especially put like that, I definitely agree. And to your point, like this is a competition, this is a game. Like you talk about, oh, we sisters this and we sisters that. Like this is a competition. Like it
Literally,
really wasn't that serious, but
it wasn't.
especially serious enough to bring it up in front of the group if y'all supposed to be like so-called sisters. This is something that you could have pulled her to the side and y'all could have had a conversation about, but not in front of everyone else. And definitely not going to Candy and talking shit about it first. You know what I mean?
Literally.
All right, but this part I didn't understand with the dead bird. Like, did you get that joke?
No,
That was
I
long.
didn't.
Okay, moving on. So Jennifer Coolidge won. She said you picked the right one, dumbass. However you do that voice.
Hmm.
So moving on to group two, we have Alexis Michelle as B author, which I think the makeup is. I think the look is like done like right. You agree? Like
Oh yeah, so she looks great.
she looks just like her. Then we have Renee Graziano from Mob Wives. Look at the 3 cigarettes in the titty. So Candy just wanted to pick a character where she could just play herself. Then we have La Ria Sukihana from Love and Hip Hop Miami, which she already had Rue cracking up from Just a Thing, but I thought that was a cute joke where she was like, "You're always in Miami, but you live in Atlanta, so what do you call home?" And she said, "Houston."
Houston.
I thought that was
I thought that was hilarious.
funny. And
I thought that was so funny.
then we have Jimbo as Shirley Temple, and then we have Bowen Yang as the celebrity snatchler. I'm sorry, but Rue just any screenshot I could get a Rue, I gotta get it. Like Rue's laugh just always makes me laugh
It's
for some reason.
infectious.
Yeah, but Alexis Michelle definitely had Rue laughing with the first little joke.
Rue was the only one.
Rue, Rue was literally the only one laughing. And I did not get the joke. You didn't get the joke. You said your
Nobody.
husband got
So just a little backstory. I have watched all seasons of. I've watched it from start to finish of Golden Girls. Um, I love B. Arthur. Obviously, she's a gay icon. I did not understand anything that Alexis was saying. I didn't think anything was funny. I think that to me, when Rue was laughing, to be honest with you, it honestly looked heavily edited, in my opinion.
yeah.
I don't think she was funny at all. I didn't laugh at not one thing that she said. I watched the show with my husband. He did not think that it was funny at all either. and he too is well versed with Golden Girls. I didn't get it. It wasn't funny to me. The thing that I laughed at was Rue's laugh. That's it.
Exactly. And the thing to me was the first thing she said, she was like, we're gonna blah blah blah, and then we're gonna go to jail. And like when she started singing, like Rue, you didn't hear Rue laughing until like 2 or 3 seconds after she was holding the note. And then that's what I found it like when she was singing that first and it was quiet. I'm just like, this ain't funny. And then Rue just started laughing.
It was the edit.
And I was like it definitely seemed like an edit based on how that played out for sure. Then we have I forgot what Lala Ree. Oh, I forgot what Lala Ree was saying, but I think Lala Ree did a safe job.
Oh yeah.
She made me laugh a couple of times, starting off with the Houston thing. She said a few funny things. But overall, I felt like she was safe.
It was safe.
Yeah.
It was a safe performance. It was top safe. It wasn't bottom.
And this is the part when Alexis volley with Jimbo. And when Jimbo's like, oh, my 100 years.
Can you say that again?
We ain't about to do it. We ain't about to do this, Alexa. But when Jimbo said that he was like 1,000 years old, and Alexis like, oh, what, in dog years? And Jimbo's like, I don't know, you're the bitch. Like, you should know. I thought that was a good clap back. That's exactly how Kahana should have been.
Exactly.
But baby, when Jimbo got up and started dancing,
so I was there.
It was the craziest and funniest thing I think I ever seen on Snatch Game. Like, he just looked like a fool. Like, look how they looking at him.
He's not afraid, but that's why he's funny because he's not afraid to look stupid. Exactly. That's why Kahana isn't funny because she's afraid to look stupid.
And just talking about that real quick a little bit more because I watch Roscoe's, and it was said that one of the reasons why Kahana was really mad at Heidi is because Kahana had a panic attack in the bathroom right before Snatch Game because she was so worried about how how she was gonna do and be perceived, and I guess she thought that Heidi was going to listen or not mess with her, not volley with her in some type of way just because how she felt. But to me, that's probably why Heidi did what she did. And I'm thinking about it because she was
trying to help her out.
Because she know what happened right before.
I'm sorry. You had how many years to have a panic attack about Snatch Game? Again, you came on a show. You knew it was going to happen. I don't want to hear this.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
It's just it's tired.
It is.
It's time for her to go.
Yeah. All right. Any other highlights or anything you want to talk about from Group 2 Snatch Game?
I do think Candy also did a really good job with Snatch Game. I thought she was funny. I don't think that she was, top, but I definitely, for me, overall, the tops were Jimbo, obviously the winner. I would say second for me was James, and then third for me would have been Heidi.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think I would say top 2. I think top 3 is like 3 of them are tied. So I would say Jimbo, then James, and then it'll be a tie between Candy, Lala, and Heidi because I feel like they all kind of.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now I do think Heidi would have been funnier had Kahana been able to volley back with her. It would have been much more entertaining.
I agree, but I also think that Heidi's impersonation, how can you volley with that? What do you really know about Blackbeard where you can make a good, clever comeback or something? I mean, maybe generation about pirates or something. I don't know, but I could feel.
It would have been funny because look at Trinity playing Satan. It's a character, I think she's
back at that character, not playing.
Oh Oh yeah, yeah.
Slapping
Well,
that.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like if her and Jimbo were in the same group, child, that would. If her,
Oh,
Jimbo, and Jennifer Coolidge are in the same group,
oh, that would have been. Yeah, my man.
nobody, everybody, the whole other group would have been at the bottom.
Exactly. But what did you think of this nogging, as everybody gonna say, moment with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang?
It was a mess.
Look at Bowen though, I thought I was like they about to read the hell out of these two after
I
this.
know Aja got on live, child.
I thought that was a little. It was random as hell. Like I was like, "What did that come from?" I was like, "Did they request to want to do that or something?" Because I've never seen them do that before. But hey, who knows? But anyways, we're back in the
Here
workroom
we
the
go.
next day, and this is where the drama really begins. So we have Kahana approach Candy first and basically talk about how she felt slighted from Heidi about what we've already talked about. And then Candy pretty much builds on top of that, was like, well, yeah, I heard that she's going around talking about me. Jimbo came to me and told me that Heidi told her that I was gunning for her to leave. So then here we are building up the base to basically attack Heidi. Now, Kahana brings it up to Heidi. She turns her head, say, "Hey Heidi, like this is what's going on. This is how I felt about it." Heidi, you could tell Heidi was caught completely off guard. Like we already
Can
know
we pause for just a
it's not
second?
Heidi's intention, huh?
Can we pause for just a second? Just because you have this picture up right now. If I ever start going bald like Alexis
Oh,
Michelle, can you just tell me to shave my head and stop
I
playing?
know. Every time I see it, when I see it, I try not to judge because I'm like, is that like because I noticed that like they literally try to hold on until the last minute. So I'm like, should I like? Is it like?
No, just let it go. Let it go. The Lord already done told you you're bald, honey. Let it go.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
Or she could at least give us a lace. Like if you want to try to save
yeah.
your like
Exactly,
all of your wigs, honey, give us a lace. Give us
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Child. Anyways, I'm
I know.
sorry. But if I ever start looking like that, please just tell me. Just
I'll
tell me
let
let
you
it
know.
go.
I'm like, well,
You need to let it go.
let it go. um,
But Kahana started. You were talking about how Kahana started
yeah, with Heidi
talking to Heidi.
catching everybody's attention and basically breaking down how she felt about it. Do you think she was a little aggressive? Like she wasn't aggressive going to Heidi, but like, do you think that she put it on just a little bit too thick? But I mean, I
Mm-mm.
guess we know the mindset she was in and how she really felt. I do think this is something maybe she thought about the next day. Was like, damn, maybe I was like, too. We'll see. But I don't know. I thought she just kind of came at Heidi just a little bit.
She came at her sideways,
Yeah,
out of
so
pocket, all the things.
yeah, you could tell because everybody's like, "Excuse me," but no. Right before that, that's when Candy raises her hand and basically says like, "Hey," because once Heidi went to Kahana and told kind of like, that's never my intention. Like, like I'm glad you're being real with me, and that's what I want you to be. And that's when Candy pretty much raised her hand and says, "Oh, but what about you going to Jimbo talking about me?" And child, this made Lala, Jimbo, and James like turn around like stop what they're doing. It's like, what the hell is going on? And that's when Heidi was like, yeah, that's what she said. And Alexis, she's like, go ahead.
Here we go.
I just had to get Lala reactions. This is the part when Alexis shook her head, yes. And then immediately shook her head no. And right after that, Jimbo caught it, was like, well, what do you mean? Like you just said yes. So before we really dig into Heidi's reaction right after this. Like, how do you feel? Whatever, outside of what you already said about the situation.
I mean, I'm kind of like, I mean, we can go ahead and just lay out the fact that like Alexis Michelle did come back out and say that
Yep.
Heidi was right.
Yep.
And I think we all knew it in that moment that Heidi was right. I think that there's still a lot to unpack because obviously we can see that, the three of them are going on tour, that being Heidi, Candy, and Jimbo. So, like, clearly their friendship wasn't ruined. That just makes me think, like, okay, how much of this was produced?
Yeah. Make Heidi leave, or maybe Heidi wanted to leave and was like, "Hey, let me leave with a bang." But I don't know. I don't, because the produced part would come from Candy in this situation. I think maybe Kahana, because if Heidi and Kahana are so close to me, it was like, what would make Kahana go to Candy and talk about it with her in the first place? You know what I mean? And then to bring it up in a workroom like that, like it does seem highly produced, and I think that's what Heidi picked up on. And she was already having these thoughts prior, them not seeing her the way that she felt like she should have been seen. But to me, do you feel like Candy was shady in this situation because she knows she's lying? And you saw how she kind of tried to turn it back on Heidi and was like, well, if that was true, then why would you throw me under the bus? Because now it puts a target on my back and say if I ever fell into the bottom and Jimbo believed what you said, then he would have sent me home. So why are we giving hypotheticals and saying if this was true? And to me, Kenny was just kind of beating around the bush just a little bit, in a way to where she knew she was projecting or throwing the attention off of herself. But what do you feel about Candy in the situation, how it was handled, and what she said?
Well, she a liar.
Yeah,
There really ain't not much to say. I mean, you can tell. I feel like anybody looking at the situation on TV knew that Candy wasn't telling the truth in this moment. So I just feel like, I mean, we just seen who Candy was. I
yeah,
think that this is going to be a part of like a bigger storyline later on.
I
Because
agree.
I mean, this whole season, I thought they've really been pushing this whole alliance situation between Jimbo, Candy, and Heidi a little too much.
Yeah, I agree.
And, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Heidi's done with it now. She's like, "F y'all, this is too much." She, leading up to this moment here, right, literally during the time, she was saying in the confessional how she literally felt alone and she felt gained up on, and she said she's not used to this feeling. She doesn't know how to take it, and you can tell because Heidi is such like a happy-go-lucky person that you can tell she's never in situations like this, and it was a complete shock to her system, in her
Hmm.
psyche. Like she did not know how to handle this. On top of that, with production doing what they were doing, she said, "I'm done. I love y'all." Started blowing some kisses. I'm outie. Candy runs right behind her. I'm sorry, this
Oh
is so
my
funny
God.
how her tank top tag is on inside out. I always, it's like a pet peeve to me. What it is, like I can't have my tags. Anyways, but Candy goes back, which is like, are you sure you're gonna regret this when you get home? Like, she's saying in the confessional, like, no matter how mad I am at her right now, I don't want it to turn out like this. And Heidi basically explaining, like, no, like I know what I'm doing. I'm about to get out of here. This had to be edited in from somewhere because either Alexis felt tremendous guilt, or why is she crying like right now? Like I get it, because maybe Heidi left. The only thing I could think of is she just felt tremendous guilt. But I mean, what do you think this moment
She
is?
probably felt guilty because she knows she's fake. And
Yeah,
I don't know why she's crying. You're fake. Like, leave me alone. Like, I don't know. I don't have time for the emotions from her. It's too
I,
much.
it is too much, and the fact that you already came on live and admitted that you were scared of Candy, and that's why but girl, you helped, like you fed into this whole thing that led to someone else going home.
Mm-hmm.
You should have. She needs to be eliminated within the next one or two episodes because
Yeah, I'm over her.
I'm over her too. And obviously Jessica is too. She gave her the same look she did in the first Untucked when she started crying with Monica Berry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that we got all that out the way, I'm disappointed that Heidi is gone. But I know she had to do what she had to do. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed that not in her, but in the fact that she's gone.
I agree 100%. And I just feel like this season's already on the struggle bus when it comes to talent, and they just lost one of the most talented queens. And so we're going to see how entertaining this is.
Season yet. Like I was so ready to see her lip syncing skills now. Because I know it was great before, but I was like, even now, like she's gonna be so much more polished. But anyways, we love you, Heidi. You're gonna be out there doing great things. So
Yeah, so I'm still Team Heidi all the way.
exactly. So now we got Mama Ru out here. She loving these short dresses showing her legs this season, and I love it. Like I know we don't hate or hate the judges, but she ate this.
Oh, absolutely.
She did a great job. She looks
Absolutely. She looks really good.
Why did I get the screenshot with Michelle's eyes closed? But anyway,
She saw her eyeshadow.
I know, right? Damn. And there you go. Michelle looking good as always. We got Ross with his cheetah print blouse on, looking like Ross, which isn't bad. Then we got Bo and Yang and Matt Rogers again. I love Matt Rogers. I don't know if you can see the detail about how he had the lace cutouts and where the biceps are in his blazer. But anyways, so category is
tired.
Okay. It is tired, but
sorry.
It could have been so much better, but reveal yourself. And first we have Kahana Montrese, which starts off the tire train. Because this was not a reveal.
No.
But she does look good. Everything does look good, but I'm gonna give this a hate because when you think, first of all, when you think of reveals, you think of unexpected, clever, and you love what's underneath. All you did was undress. She didn't reveal. She literally undressed on stage and kept a boa on, and that was it.
That's it. She was just naked.
So
it was a hate for me.
Yeah. Sorry. James Mansfield. Now James had what, 4 reveals technically?
Yeah. I wish he would have focused more on the first 2 and it would have been fine.
I agree. Because for me, this is a hate. I'm sorry, but
this is a soft A for me because I do like the Muppet look. Like I think that's funny. It's clever.
Yeah, I'll give it a soft hate.
But everything is the same. But everything is the same that she's already done.
The bottom middle look is literally exactly what she wore into the workroom in season 9.
Yeah.
Like Michelle said, same. Like it's too much of the same. The hair is the same. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. She have tried some different things, like with her Mexican culture, like the indigenous look, Aztec look she did. And I think it was the first episode she also came out in one of a cultural look. But I think when you go back to your niche, it needs to be elevated. I get this was like a rip-off dress at the bottom, but you know we've seen that so much. Like, give us something else that represents you. Like, this is just it's too much of the same. But I give it a soft 8. You give it a soft. I mean soft hate. You give it a soft 8. But I would say like the last part when she took off the front bra parts and like had the tassels or whatever that was. I thought that was cute, man. Still, I'm gonna give it a soft 8. Hey, Jimbo came out with his mask on backwards as Adam, walking backwards. It's so funny because I watched some reactions and the people were so surprised when he turned around. I was like, it was so obvious to me he was walking backwards.
Same.
Like I don't know what the surprise was, but it was still good. He turned
It was
around.
good. This was an 8. He ate.
She definitely ate. I think it could have been a little bit more detail on the bodysuit and stuff, but the theatrics was enough for us to not pay attention to it. Then you have the snake or worm popping out of
The apple.
apple. So
The forbidden fruit.
yeah, the forbidden fruit exactly. So definitely 8 for both of us. Next, we go to Jessica Wilde, who was giving homage to her first season with the chicken look. So this is a play on what came first, the chicken or the egg. What are your thoughts? Enough said.
I was trying to search for words, but I just can't find none.
I
I
mean,
don't like it.
this is a hate. We gonna make this easy. Like not too simple and not campy enough for what you were going for. Like
Yeah.
like you have a robe. Like we've seen drag queens with these robes since I was little. Since I first seen a drag queen, they had this robe.
Hmm.
What the hell is this eggshell dress in the middle?
A
Like
mess.
what? Like what
It
is
just wasn't. I just feel like if you're gonna go after this, and it was easy to see that it was a tearaway dress too
it?
because you could see the crack in the center. It wasn't good for
It
me.
wasn't good. And then the two sunny side eggs. Just
Again, something glued to a bodysuit. Here we go.
yeah. So I'm
It's
sorry.
a hate for me.
You definitely deserve to be in the bottom this week. Next, we have Condoleezza Muse, as RuPaul says. I will say the first look, before I say 8 or hate, the first look, she looked cute. The hair looks good. The makeup looks good. You know, like a cute, simple dress. Obviously, we know it's a tearaway. Now, the second look, I hate it. It did nothing for her shape. Like, the silhouette was just not good. It was a simple dress. And it was, I mean, obviously, we knew another tearaway was coming, but I thought the fit and the proportion was so off for the middle look. And then we go into the third look is something that we've seen Candy in a million
A
times.
million times.
The lingerie with the garter and like
It's
it,
tired.
it's tired. So overall, I'm gonna give this a soft hate.
I'm gonna give it a hate.
None of the looks look good, but
They
the
don't.
makeup looks great.
They don't. I just want to say, like, I feel like because you're talking about like proportions and stuff, like Candy's silhouette, like I'm all about body positivity, like 100% all the way.
Yeah,
But I feel like if other queens did some of the stuff that she did, they would get red. Like
yeah,
they would ask, like, "Why aren't you padding? Why
exactly.
aren't you doing this? Because you look like a football player." Like they told Nina West, she looked like a football player.
They sure
I
did.
don't understand why it's acceptable for Candy, but it's not acceptable for other people. I do think that sometimes Candy, when she does some of these looks, if she wants to wear these clothes, that's fine, but switch it up, give us something different.
Like with the red dress, you could have just like because you had your little stomach sticking out a little bit, which is fine. But why didn't you add boobs to level to balance it out?
Because
Like
she ain't going to, because that's not what you do.
do something. But yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say you're doing drag, so you have the opportunity to shape yourself any which way you want. And you choose not to for some reason. I don't get it. But some things, her shape does look good in. Some things, just like everybody, I
Hmm.
don't wear things that's not flattering to me. You know what I mean? So, but
Hmm.
yeah, hey. Next, we have Lala Reed. I'm so
The
sorry.
actual look, the actual look was
It
an
was
8.
great. 8, the best she's looked on the runway so far. Finally,
But
the makeup always
but that sheet that
that
she had over her,
that
I was.
Castro.
There wasn't even a cape. Like you couldn't even sew a cape
And the way
together.
she twirled and threw that thing off like she just did the best reveal you ever seen. She had me on the floor. I was like, my
Oh,
dog is a trip.
she
Like,
is funny. She gonna sell it to you, honey.
she is
But
going.
you know what? I'll say this: I found that more entertaining than Jessica's robe.
Oh, I agree, 100%. Like, I would. I'm sorry. Even though with all of this, I know it may sound unfair. It's still like a soft 8 to me.
I agree 100% because she looks great, and it is different. It's a different approach. I mean, I was tired. I can't believe she did it, but she did it, and she sold it on the runway.
Yeah,
And she's in next week's episode. So here we go.
exactly. There you go. She did her job. She a safe performance this week all around, and it was better than I would still watch this over
Oh,
Candy
absolutely.
Day. So go ahead, La. Next, we have Alexis Michelle with her Into the Woods.
Hey,
Are you just from every episode now until she's eliminated? As soon as I say her name, the first thing you're gonna say, "Hey, you
hey.
don't care. You don't care what the look is." You might
Well,
be
no,
on your
because
phone and you
it's the
just like,
same
"Hey,
thing. It's the same thing, though. It's tired. It's the same. I'm tired of seeing her in gowns.
yeah,
I know, yes, she's gorgeous. Her hair looks good. You
yes,
know, the dress looks good. But to Ross's point, like, there just wasn't this reveal when, like, I understand what she said because she said this is about Into the Woods and she's becoming a Wicked Witch and all this shit. But, um, I don't know. I just didn't like I didn't like it.
yeah." I agree, and I'm sorry, but this gown is the same exact silhouette as her blueberry with the
Yep.
pointy, like little design
Yep.
at the top above the bra. It is literally the same. I
It's
do love
tired.
her gown; she looks good, but this age and drag race, you can't come with more than like 2 gowns for the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just becomes too repetitive. So sorry,
It's
Alex.
tired.
8. So for our bottom, well, for the safe queens were Lala Red Candy, and then we have Kahana Matrice and what's the girl name? Jessica Wild in the bottom, and then we have Alexis James and Jimbo in the top. Jimbo wins his third challenge, second.
And this one was deserved.
It was definitely deserved this time. Jimbo did a great
100%.
job on the in the
And
challenge.
you know I don't like
I
him.
know by the end of this season,
We gonna see.
you're gonna tolerate him. I don't know about
Well,
like. I'm just like,
here's the thing, and I said this, I don't know if I said it on the show, so let me just go ahead and say
yeah,
it's not that I don't think Jimbo is talented because he is definitely one of the best of this season in terms of his talent. What I don't like about him is how he handles loss. It's like, you know, it's a
yeah,
game. You're playing a game. Don't be a sore loser. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's okay. And I just don't like his behavior on his past shows when he has lost. And
yeah.
that's the only reason why why I don't like him. And I just seen a video because you were telling me the other day when he had locked himself in his room when
Uh-huh.
he lost UK versus the world. And
Yeah.
I just seen a video, like a behind the scenes video about that. I think either last night or this like early this morning.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I was like, not that I didn't think it was true, but I was like, see, that's what I be talking about. Like, who does that? Like, you're a grown man. Like, it's not that serious. You're a man in a dress. Like, let it go. And you got hella money from the show, even though you
Yeah.
didn't win. Like,
Yeah.
you have a lot of success. So it's really just nothing for you to really, really be upset
It's
about.
bad.
But in terms of his talent, he's very, very talented. I don't want anybody to ever get that like mixed up.
Yeah. They say he already had a coin before he even did started Drag Race.
Yeah,
So,
he's smart.
yeah, definitely. So again, Jessica Kahana at the bottom. We have Jimbo with the lip sync. Wonder who our lip sync assassin is. Then we get Miss Jasmine Kennedy of season 14, giving us her old Hollywood. She just loves old fashioned drag. For a girl in her early mid 20s, she loves some old school drag. It reminds me of Mistress Brooker. Mistress only 23, 24 herself, but you would think she'd been doing drag for damn 30 years.
Yeah, I love this look. I love it. And I was so,
Great.
first of all, we already knew that he was going to lose this lip
Yes,
sync.
yes, we
And then it was just solidified when she came out. So I was very, very.
So their lip sync until hallucinate by Dua Lipa. Child, not even 3 seconds into Jimbo is already slipping up, falling.
And
But
it's another reason I don't like him.
yeah, uncoordinated just
Well, it's not even that you're uncoordinated. The thing is lip syncing is not something that, people are either naturally funny or they're naturally not.
yeah,
People are naturally creative and naturally not.
yeah,
In terms of lip syncing, the thing is, I know that he could be good at it because he's a performer.
yeah.
And so the fact that he's not figured out how to lip sync in this time, like it just shows that he's not put forth the effort because he's put forth the effort in his makeup skills. His makeup skills are way better than they were.
Right.
His wigs, his drag, everything is way better than it was on his first season. Like way better. He looks younger. Like he looks better. Everything is better. Everything's elevated. Even like his snatch game, I know it was like they were making a big deal about him winning Snatch Game, but Canada has some of the worst Snatch Games in the history of Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so he didn't have to be, he didn't have to be really that great to win Snatch Game. But his Snatch Game was even more elevated than it was when he was on Canada's Drag Race. This one, he really did deserve to win this. But you're going to have to be a lip syncer. Figure out how to do it. You don't have to be great. But you have to find something that's entertaining. Be like, I don't know, I feel like he could juggle, he could give us a reveal. He's slipping and sliding everywhere. I don't know why he don't just go ahead and put on some roller skates, because he can roller skate
Right.
too.
Exactly. Seriously. But yeah, no, I agree, especially with this being his third season. Like, you should have been on it. You've known from a little taste of like UK versus World, which is similar to All Stars. You already had a taste of it, so yeah, you should have been. So Jumbo had his little wig reveal with his rainbow wig, which I thought it was a nice wig.
That's cute. Yeah.
Jasmine starting to do the Dua Lipa dance, and then because I think Jasmine started off slow, like around this time, she was facing back at the beginning of the lip sync. I was okay, like why is she facing back? Like she forgot the words at the beginning or something, but as we know, Jasmine brought it out. She did her first turn split, and then she just feeling herself on the floor. And then here's
this one got me.
This one.
She did the flip before that.
Exactly.
And then she went in the slow motion.
Okay, slow mo. Okay, she went back and like, nope, I'm going forward. Then hit that split. I said, I know. Look at her feeling herself.
She was in it, honey.
In it.
And she said good night.
Good night. Okay.
And she already knew she was gonna win, and they already knew that tip was about to roll over.
Okay, exactly. Now, I've often thought this. Do you think that the lip sync assassins get a check for doing this? Well, they have to get a check
do.
for back. But
they do. It's a part of their initial contract.
Oh, okay. So do you think, but they still get paid, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that they should win something if they win the lip sync as well?
I'm sure they do, because something got to be in it for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. It's probably behind the scenes or something, but I'm sure they do. It's got to be something in it for.
Yeah, I was like, I hope they do. Like, it would only make sense. I hope they do. We also learned that RuPaul has to make one of the biggest decisions of her life, and that she's staying blonde. And they are so about it. No, RuPaul announces that nobody's going home, which we already knew. I already knew that nobody was going home, but you know how they love to go on. But you still have a show, and you still need enough.
Exactly.
Still
And
got
I
to do
think
the lip
this
sync.
is gonna give us some drama next episode
And
too.
that's all it's gonna do, and I cannot wait to see who pulled what lipsticks. I just like look at Ru, just shady. Everybody happy. Then we just get a small clip of Heidi packing up her stuff in Untucked, basically saying what made her go home was Kahana approaching her, and she just felt so hurt that somebody that she loves would think that about her. Although we know it's more to the truth, more to the truth. Now, for Fame Games, our first look comes from Monica Beverly Hills, starting out with, I don't know what you call this zip up, like whatever.
French coat looking
Trench
thing.
coat, yeah. And then she turns into like a plastic glove superwoman, like no like, I, I had to take a sip.
I think it's cute. I don't
It's
know about the
cute.
plastic glove as a thing. I would give this a soft 8. But I will say, for me, the energy she's giving in this look is a 8. She ate that
He
energy
did
too.
finally,
This is the
right?
best I think. Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
best I ever
I
think
agree, and
she's
that's what
been.
kind of sold it to me. I think it was an obvious I think it was an obvious reveal, but at least it is like it looked like a plastic glove. I'm joking, but it is cute. It's cute. She looks good, and it fits her good. So it is a lot better than some of the girls that's in the competition. Now, this is what went left with me. Naysha Lopez. This doesn't look bad. Like, obviously we know it's a reveal, so let me just stop saying like it's an obvious reveal. Like, we know it's a reveal. But what is this? And the mullet. I thought her wig was also going to be a reveal, but she kept that on the whole time.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I have not watched Untucked yet, so this is my first time watching this, or seeing this outfit, and this is an absolute hate.
Hurt.
I hate it.
Hurt.
This
Like,
is a mess.
I'm
Oh no, I'm
shocked.
sorry.
I'm like, Naysha.
Nisha been doing this
She
too
wear better
long.
stuff on Roscoe's than I've seen on this runway. That's what's so. And then her wig choices as well. Naysha really usually always looks good. But
Child, she look like she went to the drag Goodwill
okay.
and pulled this out.
For
Child, this look like, oh my goodness.
hot mess.
This
Anyway,
is a mess.
next we have Mrs. Kasha Davis, who already looked better than all Naysha looks. Coming out as Cruella. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. I joke.
Cancel.
And
I'm
my
just
name is
playing.
Trey. So I think the icons are mixed up, y'all. But Mrs. Kasha Davis come out with we have another black and white trench coat, pretty much. Pulls out to a simple dress and then goes into a bathing suit. I'll say I do like her hair and makeup. I'll give it a soft 8.
I mean, she understood the assignment.
Exactly, because she did exactly. She understood the assignment and she did it. So soft 8,
Yeah,
okay. 8, simple. At least it fits. Okay. It just looks off the rack. It's not bad. It just looks off the rack. So
let's give it Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. Next we have Darian Lake. So this is our is this our third wedding gown on the runway this season? Yeah, our third. But I actually like this one. Bam. She said weddings. Okay. I said this is my favorite of the night, personally. She ate that.
This is the best reveal out of all of them.
The best out. Okay, out of all of them.
This is good.
The dress looks so good. The hair, the makeup. She got her fascinator on. Like what? Okay, I see it underneath the veil now, but still good. Good. She did a great job. 8.
She did a
My
good job.
favorite
She
look
ate
of the
that.
night as well. She did
Yeah,
such
no,
a
that's
great
good. She
job.
did a good job. That was good.
Trey. What we did not want to happen happened this episode. It caught us off guard. I thought it was over and done with, but we did keep saying that we knew something about the storyline was gonna continue. I just hate. I mean, just look at her in this little trench coat look. Like, I just hate that she left. But again, wishing her the best. But this was definitely a good, juicy episode. I hope this continues out throughout the next few episodes because we need some type of interest, some type. It don't have to be drama, but something interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, with these girls, it's gonna be drama. Is gonna be the
drama.
thing. So I need to see a story with Alexis going downhill. I need to see Kahana either, because this was her second time being on the bottom now.
Yeah.
So if she's on the bottom again, she's gonna be gone. She's gonna be out.
Unless it's Alexis. Hopefully they get rid of her.
Yeah, unless it's Alexis. So we'll see. But we have the Rusical next week, and we already know who's in trouble.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be Jimbo out of everybody because everyone else in James possibly. I think that could struggle the most because we know Jessica, Alexis, Kahana, and La Ree. They have enough rhythm, hopefully, that could get them through, but we'll see. It also depends on the roles they pick. So I'm ready to see how that turns out.
We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, but any final thoughts on episode 5, Snatch Game of Love?
No, I really don't. I'm be honest and just say I just hope that the next episodes get better because this one was good. It was a juicy episode, but it was juicy for the wrong reasons. I'm ready for this competition to really take off, and I just feel like we've been restarting every episode, basically.
I agree. Yeah. Well, hopefully, what we've seen off of the previews for the next episode with Michelle saying this was probably one of the best musicals, or this was a great musical, or something like that. Hopefully, it is, and it'll translate throughout the episode. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again for coming to our reaction recap. This is Kay.
This is Trey.
And we are out. Bye, y'all.
Bye.